Both ransomware and crypto malware are designed with a simple goal in mind: making money initially in the form of cryptocurrency, which can then be used as an exchangeable commodity. Crypto ransomware or a crypto malware is a type of harmful program that encrypts your files stored on the computer or could be on the mobile device. And the idea, like I said, is to extort money. Encryption is the mechanism used to leave your data unusable. Encryption scrambles the content of the file so that it is unreadable. To restore it for the normal use, a decryption key is required, and that decryption key is given to you only when a ransom is paid. The ransom is usually in the form of cryptocurrencies, usually bitcoins. Crypto malware essentially takes your files, your critical files, could be your pictures, videos, intellectual properties, patents, and encrypts them, then demands a ransom in exchange for the decryption key needed to restore the files. But how does our computer get affected? How is the computer targeted? Well, the virus or the crypto malware is usually delivered as a file in the computer. And those files can be either downloaded onto your device from attachments in your email, like a Word document, a PDF file, an Excel, and the attackers will be tricking you to download the attachment, and once the file is downloaded, opened up, the macros get executed. The macros are already enabled in the Word or Excel or in the PDF. The user once gets tricked into downloading the files, the macros get enabled, which may then get your computer encrypted. The idea here is not to have your entire operating system not functional, but just to have those critical files being encrypted. That means that your operating system continues to work. It's just the targeted files, the critical files, which you need for your business purposes or for personal reasons, cannot be accessed because they are the ones that are encrypted. It's important to understand the difference between a crypto malware and a ransomware. A ransomware is something that encrypts your entire computer. There are famous ones that we have heard in the past, like PTR ransomware, which encrypted the whole computer and demanded for bitcoins. Ransomware is a malicious software that once it takes onto your computer, threatens you with harm and denies access to your computer. The attacker then demands a ransom from the victim and promises to restore access to the data upon payment. There are a number of vectors ransomware can take access on a computer, most common delivery system being a phishing spam. Attachments that come to the victim in an email, masquerading as a file that they should trust. Once they are downloaded and opened, they can take over victim's computer, specifically if they have built-in social engineering tools that trick user into allowing admin access. There are several things the malware might do once it's taken over victim's computer, but by far the most common action that it takes is to encrypt some of the user's files. There's been a great resource that I want to share here. It's a URL for the infosecinstitute.com, which gives a summary of different kinds of ransomwares and the kind of methodology being used to encrypt the system. I suggest you to take a look at that reference link. In some of the malwares, the attacker might claim to be a law enforcement agency, shutting down the victim's computer due to the presence of a pirated software on it, maybe, and demands payment, or a fine, perhaps to make the victim less likely to report the attack to the authorities. But most attacks don't bother with their pretense. Attackers usually threaten to publicize sensitive data on the victim's hard drive unless a ransom is paid. But because finding and extracting such information is a very tricky proposition for attackers, encryption ransomware is by far the most common type. Who is targeted? Well, there are different targets for the people who make those ransomwares. Sometimes it's a matter of opportunity, but in other cases, attackers target universities, government agencies, medical facilities who often need immediate access to their files. Law firms and other organizations with sensitive data may be willing to pay to keep news of compromise quiet, and these organizations may be uniquely sensitive to such leaks and such attacks. It's also important to discuss how you can prevent the ransomware. We should always patch your operating systems, keep them up to date. Do not install the software or give admin privileges to it. Always install a trusted antivirus, whitelist the software, prevent unauthorized applications from executing in the first place, and of course, back up your files frequently and automatically. Backing up your files will not stop a malware attack, but it can make the damage caused by one less significant, so you can always have access to your data.